Angel beautician Elle Edwards killed in Christmas Eve shooting at UK pub. Man, teen girl arrested over Christmas Eve killing of Angel beautician in pub.
A 26-year-old beauty shop worker was fatally shot in the head while partying at a packed English pub on Christmas Eve, police said. Elle Edwards had been with her sister and friends when gunfire broke out shortly before midnight Saturday at the Lighthouse Inn in Wallasey Village in Merseyside, reported Sky News. The barrage of gunfire killed Edwards and critically injured a 28-year-old man, who was taken to a hospital. A 22-year-old pub patron was wounded in the legs, a 24-year-old man suffered a hand injury and a 33-year-old man hurt his wrist. A female patron performed CPR on Edwards until first responders arrived. Edwards was rushed to Arrow Park Hospital, where she was pronounced dead a short time later. Edwards worked as a beautician at the salon called Nova Studio in Wirral, where her co-workers mourned her violent death. "Heaven gained the most beautiful angel," a message posted on the beauty parlor's Instagram page read. "We are all heartbroken, thinking of all of your family right now, Elle. Thank you for all of the laughs and happiness you brought into our lives. Rest in paradise, Angel. Love from your team at Nova." Detective Superintendent Sue Coombs said at a press conference on Christmas Day that officers believe the perpetrator fired shots toward the entrance of the pub, and that Edwards was not the intended target. Police are still hunting for the gunman. Coombs added that detectives were trying to determine a motive behind what she described as a cold-blooded shooting. "No family should have to be faced with this ordeal at any time but at Christmas, which should be a time of peace and celebration. It makes it so much harder to bear," the detective inspector told reporters. Speaking to Sky News outside the Lighthouse Inn, one of Edwards' friends, who only gave her name as Jess, recalled that people initially thought they had heard fireworks when the gunfire erupted. "But automatically everything just stopped and we had a feeling that something wasn't right," she said. Minutes after the shooting, a dark car, possibly an A-class Mercedes, was seen leaving the parking lot. Police said they want to speak to anyone with information about that car. "We won't rest until we find the people responsible for this terrible, terrible crime," Coombs said. Edwards' family members, led by her father, were seen laying flowers at a makeshift memorial outside the crime scene Monday. They left a note that read, "To my beautiful Elle, you are the light of my life, you will never be gone."
Police in the UK have arrested a man and a 19-year-old girl for the shooting death of beauty salon worker Elle Edwards at a crowded pub on Christmas Eve. The 26-year-old Edwards was fatally shot in the head in front of her friends when someone opened fire before midnight Saturday inside the Lighthouse Inn pub in Wallasey Village in Merseyside. 4 other patrons were wounded in the shooting, which sent shockwaves through the country where instances of gun violence are rare. On Monday, police announced the arrest of a 30-year-old man from Tranmere on suspicion of murder and attempted murder in connection with what cops have described as Edwards' cold-blooded shooting, reported BBC News. A 19-year-old woman from Rockferry was also arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to murder. Both suspects have been taken in for questioning. As of Tuesday, they have not been named. Merseyside Police Detective Superintendent Sue Coombs previously said Edwards was not the gunman's intended target. On Monday, Coombs stated that the investigation into the killing is ongoing and urged members of the public with knowledge of the incident to come forward. "We will not rest until we bring those responsible to justice, and I would appeal to anyone who has information to contact us," she said. Edwards had been dancing inside the packed pub when a barrage of gunfire erupted before midnight. Detective Inspector Coombs said during a press conference Sunday that the gunman fired shots toward the entrance. Friends described the moment Edwards collapsed to the floor with a gunshot wound to the head. A woman performed CPR on the young woman, trying to revive her before medics arrived. Edwards was rushed to Arrow Park Hospital, where she was pronounced dead a short time later. The shooting also seriously injured a 28-year-old man, who remained at the hospital Tuesday. A 22-year-old pub patron was wounded in the legs, A 24-year-old man suffered a hand injury and a 33-year-old man hurt his wrist. Edwards worked as a beautician at a salon called Nova Studio in Wirral, where her co-workers mourned her violent death. Heaven gain the most beautiful angel, a message posted on the beauty parlor's Instagram page read. We are all heartbroken, thinking of all of your family right now. Elle Edwards' sister, Lucy, who had been at the pub with the victim but left before the shooting, visited the crime scene Tuesday and lay flowers at a makeshift memorial that has been growing outside the business.